Hello and welcome to Blinkers Off. It's Doomben 10,000 Day, and what a day it's going to be out at Doomben for the Brisbane Racing Club. And you might be wondering where I am. And yes, it's the Magic Millions complex, and here I am, ready to sell. We've got plenty coming up on the show. We've got tickets to give away. We're going to find you plenty of winners, and that's right. It's time to get going for Blinkers Off. It's Doomben 10,000, and this is Blinkers Off. Okay, it's Doomben 10,000, and I'm joined by Bloodstock agent Grant Morgan, big-time footy coach Ben Perkins. First of all, Grant, welcome again, mate.
This is a bit different, Jesse. We've got the smell of horses right in our nostrils today, haven't we?
Oh, we've had many of the champion horses being sold right here, Shocking being one of them, and many Golden Slipper winners. And you've purchased a few from here as well. Great
sales ring here. It's a lot of good horses come through here, Jess. Pleasure to be here.
It is, and we've got the national sale coming up on the 28th. Which is on today, and it's been a busy sale day, and there's 2 weeks of sales. So, Ben, how you been?
Well, after last weekend, the weather's been so charming that I've indefinitely put off my suicide after 3 bad weeks on the punt. But seriously speaking, the weather in Brisbane is absolutely phenomenal. It's not too cold and it's not too hot. It is absolutely perfect. And if there are any some good advice for a piano accompanist, if you're playing for a singer, the best advice I can give you is not too loud, but not too soft.
All right, let's crack on into the first leg, and maybe not too loud, not too soft.
Just right.
Just right. So let's get into it. The first leg, race 5, it's the size, Group 2. I think some nice horses are in this race.
It's always a good race, Jess. The Champagne Classic is normally the best form guide for the size produce, and indeed for the JJ Atkins at their next start. But Souchet was an absolute tragedy beaten last start. It was a average ride by Collett. I thought he was negative out of the gates. He only had to be a little bit positive out of the gates to be better than midfield, and he would have won clearly. So James McDonald goes on. He's won the Pago on him in Sydney, so he gets on with him well. Godolphin need to sort of get the monkey off the back. They're not having a great deal of luck at the moment, so I think a bit of pressure on James. But I think at around the $3.20 mark, I think Souchet is a good bet. Attention was runner-up to the horse last start. He improved off a wet track in Sydney on the firm surface. He'll be hard to beat again. And the John Zilke pair of Dreams of Plenty and Royal Tithe to fight out for 3rd and 4th place. The Zilke team flying up here, got a very good strike rate, and I think they're the best for locals. But I'm very keen on Souchet, Jess.
Souchet does look good. And right now, we're going to take a look at Souchet's last start run. You mentioned he was very unlucky. He's highlighted here in the Godolphin colours. Here we are taking a look at Souchet's last start.
Deca, and the last one has Cracked Me Up, Homeward Bound, and Winning Rupert second, a slender lead here from back nearer the inside, Dreams of Plenty, and then Attention from Teatro Lani and Souchet, but Winning Rupert, he's often gone at the 150, led by 2 lengths. Attention goes into second, down the outside, Souchet, Teatro Lani can't get there, Winning Rupert just the leader, Attention flashing through late with Souchet, but Winning Rupert, a bit green again, but he wins.
Souchet looked to be very unlucky, and hopefully he'll be a bit more positive again out the gates, like you said. Last week he gave them a bit of a rev up for being negative, and hopefully he can jam it up him again.
1350 metres too, a big advantage, I think.
Big help?
I think he just needs that extra bit of ground. He looks very hard to beat in the JJ next start when he goes to a mile, but they'll be wanting to win on Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Ben, how do you see the race?
Well, I see it as a very important day for James McDonald because he hasn't been riding winners. He's been costing punters absolutely a fortune, and he gets the great gate for Souchet's. And seriously, if he rides this horse well, I think it's the winner. I think the big danger comes from New Zealand at around $8, Sacred Elixir. I thought it travelled really nicely at the Sunshine Coast, and I can see it getting back, coming out and putting in some kind of effort down the straight. Now, if you like Sacred Elixir, there's a horse that it raced in that same race, number 9, called Meet and Greet. It was wide. This time it's got a gate 1 and it's 80 to 1. So I'm going to throw it in the trifecta in the first 4. And number 12, Candica. This horse has had 2 runs back, and it proved itself last time in that it could race against the big fellows, and I think it's ready to run a place, or at least in the first 4 in this race. But James McDonald, he must win this race or there's troubles.
All right, troubles for James McDonald. Hopefully he's been put under the pump here. I'm sure he'll come through with flying colours. I like Suchet myself. All right, we've got a little bit of a fun segment here with fashion to see what's hot and what's not.
This first looks perfect for trackside or the gentleman looking to get noticed on race day. You'll see we've gone with a sand blazer and paired it with a green chino and of course the on-trend loafer, which is big at the moment. For accessories, we've selected a floral tie and of course our pink buttonhole flower pin, which is perfect for Oaks Day being the traditional flower.
All right, it's the second leg of the race, the listed race 6, Ben. What do you think?
Well, I think number 1 here, Amavatio, and I do like an O at the name, at the end of a horse's name. I think it sounds good for the race caller and it sounds good for the punter.
Piero.
Well, there's one. But Amavatio, it's a Chris Waller horse. It's around the $5 mark. It's weighted to win this race. It's because it's not going to be giving away weights like it did last time. A lot of these horses have to go up to it this time, and it's in good form. I think it's a certain place getter, Amavatio. Now for second here, number 9, Pajaro. Now this horse, he wins it. He won at Scone, and he got through very late. And had he got through earlier, his win would have been by a lot further. But he does go up in weight. For third, number 8, Malice. Now this horse is ready to run a place, and around the $14 mark, I think it's a must for your trifecta because I do think it will run third. And I put number 10, Lord Dag, in for fourth. This horse was very unlucky last start. It could not get out. It got back too far, but when it did get out, when it was all too late, it ran home for a handy fourth.
All right, there you have it, Amavato from the Waller camp. Grant?
My horse hasn't got an L on the end and it's not having its 17th start, Jesse, so I've probably got none. But there's no speed in this race, and that's the problem for Amavato and horses like Mighty Lucky. The rail goes out 4 metres on Saturday, so it was 2 metres, so it goes out even further to 4 metres, which makes it harder for back markers again.
Yep.
So I'm with Worthy Cause because I can't see another speed in the race. I think they're going to be positive out of the gates. He's third up. He won third up last preparation. I think if they're positive out of the gates, he's going to be very hard to beat. Mighty Lucky and Amavatio, they're going to get back and they're going to need luck and they'll run home. And Hopfgarten, he's got a good draw and he's going to be right up there. But I'm pretty keen on Worthy Cause, Jess.
Worthy Cause, keen on it. All right, we've got 2020 where I'm down the track with Glenn Collis. And secondly, after this, we're going to take a look at the Doomben 10,000. We're going to look at Azacadillia. We're going to take a look at Delectation and a few others in the Doomben 10,000. Here we are, 2020 with Glenn Collis. Favourite colour?
Blue.
Bath or shower?
Bath.
Favourite drink?
Say Ginger Joe's.
What annoys you the most?
Traffic.
The one single food that you'd never give up?
Oysters.
Favourite movie?
Ghost.
Favourite food?
Chinese.
Footy team?
Broncos.
Favourite sport?
Football.
Pen or pencil?
Pencil.
Who's the first person you call when you have a bad day?
Usually my mother.
Favourite season?
Summer.
Favourite day of the week?
To be Sunday.
Chocolate or strawberry?
Both.
Do you play a musical instrument?
Never.
Favourite song?
Rock star, because I want to be one.
TV show you secretly enjoy?
None really.
Basketball or hockey?
Hockey.
One place you could travel to right now?
Probably Hamilton Island.
Movies or TV?
TV.
Blondes or brunettes?
Oh, they're both alright. I'd have to say brunette because my wife's a brunette.
How about red? All right, it's the Doomben 10,000, the race of the day, the Group 1. Azacadillia's favourite at $3, $2.90. I've got a couple of mates, Bino and Josh, very keen on it. They took the $5 early. They backed it again at $4.40. Then they backed it again at $4. Very keen on it. Rail out 4 metres. How do you see the race panning out?
Well, look, I think she's definitely the best horse in the race. It's whether she can go to Doomben first time, drawn out, get back, rail out 4 metres and win. Yeah. I think she wins the Stradbroke. I'm very keen on the Stradbroke, but I just kept having a bit of a niggle about her in this race, and I ended up coming up with Dothraki. He's 3 from 7 second up. He goes terrific fresh, so he just missed in the BTC Cup against most of these, so he's really only got to hold out Azacadillia and hold his form to beat these, but Look, he's always an underestimated kind of horse in these races, and I think he just offers a bit more value than what the favourite does. I'm very scared of her. I think she's going to run terrific, and if she gets the breaks and if they're finishing on, she's going to get home over the top of them. And similar with Delectation, he's another one that I agonised over tipping. You know, there's two of him, and if the right one turns up, you know, he's going to be hard to beat. James McDonald, the key. His career best rating was with James aboard, so gets a soft draw, and he gets his chance to roll home into the race at the end. I think Hooked is a sneaky each way chance. I think he's big overs. He's first up, but don't let that scare you. He goes good first up.
I get a good fish and chips and a hamburger down on Chevron Island. And the secret word was Hooked is a rough chance. So if you get down and see Charlie and Warren down there, the fish and chip shop, they make good bacon hamburgers.
Great fish and chips, good tip.
And they've tipped Hooked, so $34.
I'm with them. I don't think I've got him rated about $6.70, so I reckon he's massive overs. But I'm keen on Dothraki. I don't think I've ever tipped him or backed him before, but I hope I don't put the mock on him on Saturday.
He sort of looked like he was going to loom up, go past Malaguer and just stop that last 50.
Yeah.
Is he going to run that?
Oh, he'll run it out strongly. No problems about that. I think he gets better in second up. Second up's I think he's peak in his preparation. Right,
we're going to take a look now at Azakadelia's trial at Eagle Farm. It was pretty sizzling, and here we are.
Wide Igneous down the side as Cadelia's fourth over on the rail there as they get away from the inside, and then Louder Brunnan, and the last one there is Sagaron. So as Cadelia, she's got plenty of room to come through. They probably come about 5 horses off the rail here, and as Cadelia goes through with on the outside Traveston Girl, and they take over from Pythagorean, then Igneous, Sagaron and Louder Brunnan. But as Cadelia, she's darted through and taken the lead. Traveston Girl on the outside is about a length and a half away, but as Cadelia, here she is, a strap break favourite. She's striding away over the last 150, and it's all as Cadelia, and as Cadelia wins the trial by an ever widening 4 lengths on the line. From
It was a good trial by Azakadeliya. It was deadly. What do you think of the trial?
I loved his trial, her trial, sorry.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
Oh, yeah, no, look, she's going terrific. There's no doubt about that. It's just that Doomben factor, Jess. That's the big thing.
I was talking to Josh about it. I said the only thing that'll beat it will be the track, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. How do you see it, man?
Well, it's not what I'm thinking, because the way I see this race is that Two Blue and Divine Century are going to go forward and probably put a bit of pace into this race. And we've got a horse here called Azakadeliya. Now, it's not often that Brisbane has this kind of horse come to town. It's got Winx form.
It does.
It's got Winx
yeah,
form.
That's
I mean, that's the best horse. That's the best form in the world, in my opinion. And it's trialled brilliantly, and it's not a big field. It just goes straight past these, in my opinion. Now, look. Number 3, Dothraki, I think it'll run a good, honest race, and believe me, I could write a short story, a very sad short story about me and Dothraki from day one. Believe me, it's... And Delectation, look, number 1, I think it's going to be about 5th in the run. It's run last night. I watched it over and over on the video. I'm sure it's an Eagle Farm horse. It's a big track horse, but gee, he looked big and powerful the way he got to the line. If it can get a smooth run into the race from 5th, it can do something. And Two Blue is going to go forward, and I think it's going to run a pretty honest race at around 25-1. But I think Azakadeliya, gee whiz, it's a good horse with Winx form.
Yeah, no, you can't go past that Winx form. That's undeniable. We cannot deny that. Winx form is the best form in the country. I'm on Azakadeliya, but firstly, we're going to take a look at Delectation and Dothraki and Fell Swoop running in the BTC Cup.
100 metres left to go, led by a neat length here from on the outside, Malaguera. Echo Gal going to third, Fell Swoopers work. Dothraki's coming through, and Japanisma down the outside. Two Blue, Malaguera, Dothraki on the outside. Two Blue, Malaguera, Dothraki, Fell Swoop, and Japanisma down the outside. Dothraki's taken the lead narrowly from Malaguera, Japanisma. Malaguera coming back at Dothraki, Malaguera. I think Malaguera kicked back to win from...
Big run there by Delectation. You could see he was very unlucky the last 50 metres. Dothraki looked up, loomed up to win, just sort of failed that last 50 metres. Fell Swoop. How do you see Fell Swoop?
I think he might have come to the end of his prep myself. I think he's going to bottom out myself. I'm happy to be against him this time in.
There's been a bit of money for him. The other one in it, Divine Century, big gamble putting that 3-year-old filly against these horses.
I think it's not. I wouldn't do it, but you know, it's the races, so funny things happen. The horse apparently is looking for 1,400 metres. If it can run in the first 5, I think it'd be a marvellous achievement, but I doubt that it will.
Yeah, no, up against the older horses and Group 1 Winx form, you would highly unlikely, but stranger things have happened. It is racing. I'm going as Cadelia. I really liked. I've sort of been swindled into this horse over the last 2 weeks by a few of the boys.
Beano. But what's Porky on? That's what I want to know. I mean, Beano's on, but where's Porky's money gone?
Well, I think Porky's going on Beano. He's going on Beano's. So I'm going to stick with as a Cadelia. As you mentioned, the Winx form line, I think it is the best horse in the race. First up, query?
No query at all.
No.
It's won 3 out of 4 first up. Yeah. And if the track happened to get wet, mate, you'd be sleeping overnight at the track.
Well, I've taken the all up. I've gone as a Cadelia to win, into McIntosh to win the Queensland Derby. That's my bet I've put on for this week. All right, we got Controversy Corner now, where Belinda Kelly talks with Grant about issues with racing in Queensland.
Hello and welcome to Controversy Corner. I'm joined by Blinkers Off co-host Grant Morgan, and we're talking about Racing Queensland's woes again. So, Grant, Racing in Queensland's not being assisted by the coverage on Sky Channel of races in Queensland. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely, Belinda. We've seen a pretty shabby treatment of Sky Channel of racing in Queensland. We've seen it for a while now, but more recently, even at our peak time of the year when we've got the Brisbane Winter Racing Carnival, we expected better treatment from Sky Channel. They're crossing to races at places like Kembla Grange moments after they cross the line in a Group 1 race in Queensland. This is a real concern for industry participants in Queensland. Sky Channel is owned by Tabcorp. Tabcorp derive its revenue from New South Wales predominantly, and second of all Victoria. So we're in a difficult situation. We've got an agreement with Sky Channel, and that agreement was going to go on for some time now, and unless we get a fair crack on the racing clock, as they call it, our races in Queensland are not going to get fair coverage around Australia, and that's going to impact our wagering.
So there's a 30-year agreement with UBet. Obviously there's a trend towards fixed odds betting now. Is that a concerning trend?
It is, because for every dollar wagered on fixed odds, we don't get as much takeout as what we do from the parimutuel. That's a historic problem that we're not going to avoid. People are betting on fixed odds. But I think the way forward is hopefully a merger between UBet and Tabcorp. Hopefully one buys out the other and we get one TAB. That'll make for a far bigger TAB pool. It'll make corporate bookmakers' life a lot harder, because they won't be able to offer a product called the best of 3 totes, and that takes away their competitive advantage. So I think in Queensland we really have to hope and pray that Tats either buy out Tabcorp or Tabcorp buy out Tats, UBet, and we get one tab, and that might drag Sky Channel back to the table too. We might see some changes in the broadcasting rights for Queensland racing as well, because I'm sure everyone will agree at the moment we're not in a very strong position on that.
And it might also see more betting on racing rather than the trend towards other sports?
Well, I think that's part of the whole vision thing, Belinda. You know, other sports have got very sophisticated coverage of their sporting events now. We've got very sophisticated coverage of our sporting events in racing, but we see more innovative development in Victoria via Channel 7, who spend a lot of money on their development together with Racing Victoria. So we've got to head in that direction.
Thanks, Grant. That's Controversy Corner for this week.
All right, the last leg of the quaddie. Hopefully we can go live into the last. I think there's a good bet in here. McIntosh looks to be the best bet on the program. I've backed it to win the Queensland Derby. I'm going to back it again to win tomorrow. I'm very confident. I can't see it losing. I'm going to take the shorts, and we're going to take a look at its last run. Here we are taking a look at McIntosh's last win.
Very wide. Tap This is the next one. And then Katamara L followed by on the outside. Cylinder Beach and back nearer the inside. Flying LaBelle at the 300 metres mark. And McIntosh led by 2 lengths to Tap This. Katamara L and Flying LaBelle Brazen. And here's Cylinder Beach down the outside. But McIntosh at the 150. Nicely clear. Led by 3 lengths now from Brazen. Tap This. Cylinder Beach on the outside. But it's all McIntosh for the rough habit. And McIntosh goes all the way. Wins it by 3 lengths. Cylinder Beach ran second, third.
Well, it was a deadly win last start, McIntosh, and Ben won't be beat.
Oh, please.
Please, Labaz last week. Come on.
Please, Chris Waller. I mean, last weekend, it's lucky I'm here today. It's only the weather's got me this far after Chris Waller in race 2 in Sydney when I backed the favourite, and I backed it really heavily, my biggest bet in probably 3 months, and the stablemate beat it, because that's what Waller does all the time. And this time, I'm going for the Waller stablemate here and cost the line. It's $11, and believe me, its last win, in a word, it was resounding. And in my opinion, it is a better each way bet. The favourite's hard to beat, I admit that. Eagle Way, the bird of God, and it's the bird of God because it soars with the sun behind it. And number 2, Cylinder Beach, but I'm going number 6 and cost a line each way to beat the favourite.
Grant, can you see McIntosh getting beat?
No. Couldn't see it getting beat last start, Jess. I think Ben had the brass bands playing and all sorts of things flying all over the place.
The brass band's being saved for Eagle Way when we get to Eagle Farm. And it was a very good run by Eagle Way as well.
McIntosh's was a better run though. You just keep looking behind the winner all the time, you know. You got to look at the winner, mate.
I'm waiting for Eagle Farm.
The problem here is there's no speed in the race again. He's the only go-forward horse. He's got the rest of them covered. The only horse that can possibly beat him is the South Australian Derby winner, but he comes back from 2,500 to 2,200. So I'm querying him first time, Dermot. McIntosh just wins.
And Costa Line will go forward, and I think it will sit behind it and then go bang, and it's going to be the old story. The Waller stablemate beats the favourite, and the punters are murmuring.
No, you got that wrong. You'll be lamenting in second place again. All right. Now we're going to take a look at OLBG with Steve Madgwick with his best bets in UK soccer.
Hi Jesse, it's the big one this weekend. It's the Champions League final. It's the end of the European football season, and we've got a repeat of the 2014 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. They're meeting in Milan in Italy. Real Madrid are 2.5 favourites to win. The draw you can get at 3.20. Atletico Madrid are the outsiders at 3.25. OLBG.com members are on the side of Atletico Madrid this time. This may be to do with the Spanish form this season, where Atletico held Real Madrid to a 1-1 draw at home and went to the Bernabeu and won 1-0. So they've scored 2 against Real's 1 this season. Strikers to keep an eye on this for this game. Fernando Torres for Atletico Madrid, he's $7.50 to score first, and Cristiano Ronaldo for Real Madrid is $5 to be the first goal scorer. We're going to actually do both of those this week. If one or the other scores, we're going to be in profit over the 2 bets anyway. And like I say, the OLBG members are all over Atletico Madrid to get revenge for the 4-1 defeat in the 2014 Champions League final. So that's your bets for this week. Next week, I've got a little bit of news. We're going to be giving away some big money on olbg.com.au in our free-to-enter tipster competitions, and I'll see you next week and tell you more about it.
OLBG, free sports betting tips to help you beat the bookies. Visit olbg.com.
Okay, it's our best bets of the program, and as you can see on screen, Ground showing a nice little profit there. Ben slightly in the negative, but hopefully we'll turn things around again this week. Grant, before we get into our best bets, you got any yearlings for sale? Some nice ones?
Always have yearlings for sale, Jess. Yes.
Love Conquers All?
Love Conquers All, lovely colt with Gerald Ryan. No, we've got horses with all major stables. Darren Weir, Johnny Thompson flying at the moment. Mick Price. So, yeah, just visit our website, Jess, for more details on trackracing.com.au.
Hopefully another Brazen Bow in the stable, eh?
Got his full brother. He's just been in for his first look with Chris Waller at Rosehill. He's a yearling, so we're about to name him. So hopefully the Brazen Bow journey can continue with him.
What's it, Baby Bow?
Baby Bow's popular, yeah.
It's got the name, but all right,
Sounds
most
okay,
important.
actually.
Yeah, Baby Bow. What's your best?
Souchet, Jess, I'm hoping Godolphin can get the bad luck vibes out, and James McDonald can do the job for John O'Shea, who I'm sure will roll into town and put the hard word on James to ride positively and get the job done with Souchet.
James McDonald, with a name like McDonald, he's got to be talented. Ben?
I'm going to go a small bet on Amavatio for Chris Waller. I don't think it's a day to unload. I'm just going to, well, after last week anyway, I'm only betting in peanuts anyway, but Amavatio, $5.
You act like a monkey, so you might as well eat peanuts. All right, that's all we have for today's show. Thanks for joining us. My best for the day's Macintosh looks to be an absolute certainty, and I'm backing it up in the Queensland Derby. The Brains Trust disagree, but I'm sticking with it. Thanks for joining us. See you next week. Bye for now.